everyone, welcome back to another tutorial and another week. I hope you're enjoying my tutorials going forward. New tutorials, and this one I'm going to focus on. Right, I had a thought, okay? I recently sold a painting in a restaurant that's hanging some of my artwork, and I have an empty space on the wall, so I need to replace it quickly. And what I was thinking was, I might as well do a tutorial as I'm painting this for the restaurant. So I'm doing two things at the same time, okay? And I think it will make a nice tutorial. I'm going to paint, now I painted this before, it's Gugambara. I painted kind of a summer scene type of a one, but I'm going to paint a lovely, a nice sort of kind of a snow scene in this, a sort of a sunsetty snow scene, and it's going to be a really nice tutorial to practice warm and cool colours, so complementing colours, especially in a snow scene, because I know when you think about snow, well, when I was learning to paint, when you think about snow you just think white all of the time. You think snow has to be white, but it doesn't really. Snow can come in any amount of colours, so I'm going to be kind of practicing that technique today. And what I'm going to do is, I have the picture sketched out here in front of me, Gugambara, but I am going to use a different reference photo. Now what I mean by that is, I have just a basic kind of a snow scene as a reference photo, but we're going to be focusing on the colours, okay? Not the drawing, not the scene itself. I'm just going to be using this to look at colours and use the colours from that reference photo and interpret that myself into my own picture here that I have sketched, okay? So it's going to be a nice one to kind of loosen up your mind about different types of colours. You don't have to kind of copy an exact photograph all of the time, you know what I mean? So a lot of the time what I would do is, I might take one scene, we'll say, let's say a snow scene, or let's just say it's a basic kind of a landscape with some hills and things like that, and then you could just scroll through your gallery or whatever it is you have, or go online and look for different scenes, but just look at the colours. So you could take a basic summer scene, we'll say, okay, with some hills, and you could change that then into like an autumn scene or a snow scene even, and just look at different types of snow scenes, different colours, and put that onto your scene then to make it a snow scene. Do you understand what I mean? So it's good practice, and it helps you kind of learn about colours and how to kind of work with different colours, and I suppose it just kind of opens your mind a little bit up to trying different things. Alright, so I might try that this week. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be lovely, and I have a frame as well that I can frame it at the very end. Alright, now I want to say a huge thank you to Andrea. I told her I'd give her a mention this week on the channel. She came all the way from Canada to buy a painting from me. Now she was coming here to see relatives, but she had told me this months and months ago that she was coming over and to keep a painting for her, and we sat down, we had a lovely coffee inside the restaurant, Cafe Petoni's, where my work is hanging. We met there, we had a lovely cup of coffee, we had a nice long chat, and she bought the painting off of me, which I was holding for her, and she also took another one as well that was hanging up in the cafe. So I was thrilled, I really was thrilled. So Andrea, thank you so much for that. I know we didn't have enough time to sit down and really have a good proper chat, but I was just so busy that morning, I had lots of stuff to do. But we had a nice cup of coffee and a chat, and we were looking at the paintings. I got some good kind of advice from her, all that kind of thing. So yeah, and she gave me this lovely calendar from Canada, so the Canadian wilderness, and thank you so much for that. We will definitely do some tutorials from this, some gorgeous photographs in there from Canada. So yes, thank you so much for that. Right, on to more pressing matters. Let's get this painting started. Go and get your stuff, and look, what I'm painting here now is Gugambara, but you could use this as a reference. You could maybe just put a nice cottage in a field or something like that, and just use these colours then. Do you understand what I mean? So let's go and have a bit of fun with this now and make a nice warm winter scene. Don't go anywhere, alright? Get your stuff, follow me along if you can. I'll try to be as informative as I can, okay? And try and help you along, and I will explain everything as I'm going, okay? So come on, I will see you in just a moment. Okay, there is the photograph. Now, that's just the colour I want to use, okay? I want to incorporate those colours into this scene. Now, I've just done a very quick sketch. It's just Gugan Barrow, okay? A little church, little hill in the distance, and just a couple of lines suggesting the riverbank. That's it. Nice and simple. Okay, let's see if you can have a bit of fun with this. I have, now my colours, I have a paper palette, a white paper palette. You can use a timber one if you like. I have titanium white, naples yellow, a little cadmium yellow. I might not need it, but just in case. I have a little cobalt blue, some phaylo blue, some crimson, some burnt umber, some black, and a tiny bit of burnt sienna. I don't think I might need burnt sienna, but I want to kind of experiment with warm colours, so I just put it there. Save me doing it later, okay? Now, I must get some more white because I'm going to use a lot of white. With it being a snow scene, there will be a lot of white in this. So let's crack on. I have a little bit of turpentine here, look, just turpentine with a tiny drop of linseed oil. The tiniest little drop, a few drops really. It just helps make the paint more creamy and smooth when you're putting it on, that's all. Excuse me. Right, let's start with our large stubby brush. Now I want to put a warm sky in this. I don't want a very cold blue sky. I'm going to add a hint of pink, perhaps, just in the sky, okay? Let's try it. Let's dampen our brushes and make sure they're nice and dry. Let's give me a good dry on the tissue, just a good kind of a dab on the tissue, just to take off the excess. It's still quite wet, look, it's dampish, alright? Now, I'm going to take, I'll start with the bottom here. I want to get a nice pink in here. So let's take a touch of crimson. I see how watery that is, it's really watery, see? But as soon as you add the white, it gets thick. Alright, so there we are. Let's take more. Mix that all up now, make it nice and creamy. More white, a little more pink. Okay, there we go. And now into that, I don't want it just pink on its own. Into that I'm going to take a touch of naples yellow. And the naples yellow will get a nice warm hint, a nice kind of a warm a glow, a nice warm glow in the distance. That's kind of what I'm aiming to achieve. So I'm going to start with this colour now first. You can see now it's quite thin, look, it's thin and creamy. Like a thin cream out of a tub. See it? It's just almost running down, but it's not quite. Now, let's go along the bottom with this. And if you feel that that's kind of quite wet, if you feel it's quite wet on the canvas, take a touch of white into that. It will thicken it up somewhat. So let's go along here now. And I just want to put a hint of pink just kind of down at the bottom end of the sky. Just, I want a nice warmth in the distance. Now just as far as there, okay? Now clean your brush and the tissue. Give it a good clean. I'm going to go into some yellow, some of the naples yellow. And I'm going to add a touch of that just to the bottom. I want to give it a nice warm glow of the sun kind of going down, if you know what I mean. Just at the bottom there, okay? Now, can you see that okay? You can. Again, I'm going to dip my brush in my turpentine and give it a good dry on the tissue to get most of that colour off. Now most of the colour is gone from the brush, okay? I'm now going to start going into some kind of mauves. So let's take some cobalt blue. I'm going to go into this colour we mixed down here, a bit of pinky colour. Let's take some cobalt blue and some crimson. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start more on the reddy side, some kind of a plummy kind of a colour. I'll start with that. See? Right across there with that. It's quite thin, but I will add thicker layers to this I think in a moment. And I'm just going to soften that down into that pink. Just a little there, look. See? Nice and soft. So a nice transition from a pink to a kind of a purpley colour. Now I want that softened a bit more. There we are. Now we're talking. And then I start adding more blue as it goes up. So you can see now what I'm trying to get at. It's a nice kind of a warm kind of snow scene, an evening snow scene. Let's try some phaylo blue. with some crimson. And we'll be using a lot of crimson in this painting now because I want a nice warm colour. You could try adding a touch of cadmium red maybe, but I think cadmium red is more of an earthy kind of a colour. For snow scenes, I would definitely say crimson would be my number one colour. I'd always use crimson in a snow scene, all of the time. So now, let's just go along and get that colour in. Some phthalo blue, some cobalt blue, and a touch of crimson, okay? There we go, just drag it across. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm dampening the corner of the brush very gently each time I do this. Just to take up a tiny bit of turpentine, okay? Just a tiny bit. Enough just to make the paint sort of move around a bit. Alright? I'm not soaking the brush at all. A little bit of pink and a little white. So it's nice and kind of cool up at the top, isn't it? And even over to one side here it could get a bit cooler because the sun is setting kind of over on the right hand side here, so on the left let's just make it that bit cool. There now, see? And very gently with the tip of my brush just kind of soften everything across. Now, isn't that nice? So we've warm colours and cool colours on the same sky. Now crimson, some phthalo, a little white, and the cobalt blue just kind of tones it down. It makes it more of a colder, cooler kind of a blue. The phthalo blue is quite rich and quite strong. I would use either cobalt blue or French ultramarine, I suppose, for a snow scene like this. But I'm just used to using phthalo blue. Phthalo blue is more of a sort of a landscapey, kind of earthy, greeny kind of a blue. So for a snow scene, you might find it difficult to use, but I'm just used to it. That's why I keep using it. And I know how to kind of mix colours with it to achieve the colour I want. But look, it's practice, it's trial and error. You'll get used to the colours that you like yourself after a while. Now, so there we go. Soft lot of this nice sky together here. Look at that, isn't that lovely? Okay, let me stop for a moment now and have a look. So we have a nice glow off there on the distance, don't we? Isn't that quite nice? I'm very happy with that. Very happy. And it's kind of up to yourself now to decide, do I want clouds or do I not want clouds? If you start putting in clouds, you're then going to have to start putting shadows and brights on the clouds. But you see, we have a lot going on in the painting. I have lots of snowy trees. In the end, when it's finished, I'm going to put some nice branches across here with some snow kind of flicking down, perhaps. So I don't want to go too much on the sky. I don't want to go over the top. I might just add a very light whitey blue up, maybe just along the top somewhere. I think it would help just give the sky a bit of a glow, just a little. See what I mean? Now it's dry paint, I'm using dry paint, but I think it would help just to sort of give that wintry kind of feel. Do you understand? It's just a little bit there, only one corner, that's all. Let me just have a look. Just sit back, always sit back and have a look at what you're doing. Okay, look, that's not bad. I'll go with that. Next, let's get in this hill, and we can use the same brush for this, and let's just dampen the corner again just very slightly. And I'm thinking just a nice mauve kind of a colour for this again, just to begin with, okay? So let's go in here and get some of that nice warm kind of bluey colour, and let me just check that. Now, let's just go up here and fill in this hill. It's just very, very rough, only for now, okay? Let's take some pink. I might add a touch more pink into the mix actually. Now let's just go down there, around the top. A lot of this will be covered with bushes and stuff like that, so I'm not worried too much about getting this Spot on. A bit more pink there. So you can see it's very kind of dry. I'm kind of really scrubbing the paint on because there's no point in mixing a huge amount of paint just for a small area. So I just kind of scrape it on, scrape it across. Make enough out of it. And we go up here then, and dampen that brush again. Take a bit of crimson, a little bit of phaylo, a little bit more crimson. I don't want to go too blue with the colours. I don't want the painting to be too blue. Do you understand what I mean? Let me take a touch of hint more crimson in that. Soften that down. And you could even start adding a hint of burnt umber into that, okay? With the crimson. That'll make a lovely complementary colour. There we go, look, see? Isn't that nice? A nice warm pinky brown. And that's immediately now starting to warm up this lovely hill that we have. And we could even take some of that colour and perhaps just introduce some of that very loosely now, just kind of scraping it across, look, just here and there. Now how's that? A nice simple little hill in the distance. And what I am going to do is put this down, okay? And I'm going to take my small stubby. Excuse me, I have an awful cough today. An awful tickle in the back of my throat that's very annoying and it won't go away. So forgive me. My small stubby brush, I'm going to make a nice light kind of a pink. So let's take a bit of white, a dry brush, no turpentine, and a little touch of crimson, and perhaps a tiniest little touch of blue, look, just to take the pinky brashness out of it. But it's more pink really than anything else. And let's go up there now, and I'm going to just suggest some little dabs of snow here and there on the hill, off in the distance there, okay? And remember what we learned about painting mountains and hills, that kind of thing? Always follow your brush strokes in the direction of the hill. So it's coming down, it's falling down like this, so just scrape the edge of your brush downwards like that. And then you can even follow the land along like this, you see? There, does that make sense? It just makes for a more pleasing hill. That's all. It's nice and simple. It's a nice effective way of doing it. And I just leave it kind of taper off, then almost sort of disappear off into the hill. Okay? I'm not too worried about this because we'll have loads of trees around here covering this. So I'm thinking ahead, that's all. Now, let me sit back now and have a fast look at that. Now you see, it's just a very nice suggestion, isn't it? It's an impression. When you look close to it, you can see it's not actual little bits of rock and that kind of thing, but when you sit back, it just makes sense. And that's the way I love to paint. I like to let the viewer fill in some of the details. Just some. Okay? Just kind of use your imagination, open up your imagination. That's all. I think it's good practice. And see, soften it off into the distance. And that's it. Job done. Okay, nice simple job, very effective. Do you think so? Lovely. My next job is we have a nice row of trees off in the distance off here, okay? Now again, I'm looking at the trees on the photograph. So a nice light and a nice cool. So what I'll do is, I might take, I was going to say my medium stubby, but that looks a bit flat to me. I want something a little bit more bushy. So let me just have a look at what I have. I have this one and I have this guy here. What else have I? I have another one here. Look, this might be better actually. It's just on the way to being really bushy, alright? It's not completely flat like that. It's kind of out a little. This is perfect now for these types of trees in the distance. So let me just dampen the brush now and dry it, okay? Dry it well. It's fairly dry. Let's just make a nice dark bluey purple. Yes, let's get some phthalo blue, and again I'm going to use a little cobalt as well, just to take the bite out of the phthalo. And let's take some crimson, and then some white, a little white. Because remember what we're doing here now is, we're starting with a darker colour and we're working in some white snow into that then, or some kind of pinky snow into that. So a nice kind of a dark plummy colour, a purpley plummy colour. And let's just try this now and see how we go, look. Let's get that in there first. Just go along here and dab in your trees. And I'm just going to fill in my horizon line there actually. I might take a touch of black into that, just the tiniest touch of black. And just come across here and do our horizon line. This is what I would regard as the horizon line, because this is where the land meets the kind of the upper half of the painting. So like this is where everything below this would kind of come downwards like this, and everything above it will come down like that. So everything is pointing to this line right here. Does that make sense? I'll explain that kind of stuff to you now in another video about your horizon lines and getting perspective and that kind of thing. But I'm taking a bit of burnt umber and a bit of pink. A little bit. I just want to add some little dark patches here and there, nice warm darks, you see? And I'm basically just dabbing with my brush. Dab, 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 dab. Like that. And as you get to the very end, you want a really strong dark. So I'm going to take some phthalo blue and a little black. Phthalo blue and a little black. And I might take a hint of red as well, just a touch. And kind of soften it up here and there, you see? This is the first step now, just the first step. So, let's have a look. We have some nice kind of distant trees that are off in the distance, don't we? My next step is, now I might even use the same brush for this. Let's give this a good clean. Dip it in your turpentine, don't swirl it, and just give it a really good wipe on your tissue. Just scrub it on your tissue and take off most of that colour. The next step is to get some nice bright highlights on some of these trees on the right hand side. Because let's imagine the sun is over here on the right, and it's going to be casting some sunlight across and hitting those trees. Just the tips of the trees here and there. So let's make a nice bright warm colour. I'll take some crimson, I'll take lots of white and Naples yellow. That's going to give me now a nice warm sunlit snowy kind of colour on the trees. There, you see? And let it gently fade away down and sort of disappear. Okay, let me do it again here for you, look. And over here. So you can see the roughness of the brush now is really helping. And when it gets dirty, the very tip of your brush, just give it a little rub on the tissue just with the tip. Just to take off the dirty colour and go back in then with some bright colour again. Let's try that again, look. Turn the brush around in little angles. And let's put one or two down here. And that's it. I would say that's done. Finished. Keep it simple, nice and simple. Now let's clean the brush again. Give it a good rub on your tissue. The next job, so it's pretty much the same process as this now for all the trees here, okay? So what I'm going to do is start with this bunch here. We have a bunch of trees coming around the roof of this building, alright? So I'm going to mix that very dark colour again. Now I'll dampen my brush just a little. I'll take some phthalo blue, some cobalt blue and some crimson. And I want this now, I don't want this too wet, this is quite wet now for me. I'm going to just add a bit more paint, thicken it up a little bit. Tiny bit of white. The white will make it much thicker as well. Now, let me try this. So I'm just going to go around the outline of my roof here. So this is the outline of the building. Okay. And I'm going to put in a suggestion of some of the trees. I'll take a hint more red, a hint more blue. I want a really dark, rich colour for this. It's a very dark, rich, purpley kind of a colour, isn't it? So I'm going to go in there like that and just dab, 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 dab. A suggestion of, this is just basically the undercoat. This is what I'm doing. The undercoat of the trees. That's it, nothing else. Okay, a bit more red. And we come across the top of the roof like that. And we can suggest some foliage like that. You can even go up out of the painting as well, you see. And don't worry, try not to get this perfect, because as I said, we're going to be going over all of this with our white later on, so we can create the nice foliage. So look, don't be trying to get all of this perfect first time round. That's what I'd say. Let's take a bit of pink and a bit of brown, and I might go down here with that warmer colour along the side here. Now we have a little line across here where it stops, alright? So just go across here. Now I know it would help you with the reference photo of this image, but I just want to show you how to incorporate certain colours into your own image that you want. I just want to show you how to do that, that's all. And okay, let's mix up plenty of that now, because we've a big area to cover here. So some brown and some red and some cobalt blue. Let's try that. So we can go more browny as well. And some red and some phaylo blue. So like when you're filling in the main area, you can just scrub it with your brush. But when it comes to the edges then and the tips, you know, you can just go dab, 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 all the way along, see? What's that noise coming from that? Very annoying, that kind of a noise coming from the canvas. Very annoying, isn't it? Right. Now, so look, we've all this area now filled in, and this is all just foliage. And what I'm going to do is add some cooler colours down into that. So I'm taking some phaylo blue and some white and a little pink. I want to start adding some cooler blues just here and there to make it a nice kind of a cool area, a cool kind of a shadowed area there. Perhaps a bit more. It's coming along quite nice now, isn't it? So you can see I'm being quite rough with the brush now. I'm very kind of just higgledy-piggledy. It's just everywhere, isn't it? Now that's the nice basis for our trees, okay? Nice and simple. I'm happy enough with that. What I might do is just maybe darken in around the back here slightly. So I'll take some black and some phaylo. Really blacky bluey colour. Just in the back here, alright? Let's try a bit more. Some black and some brown even will help as well. And in around the side here, where it's in very rich shadow, just flicking the brush around, being very loose. And perhaps even just a little pink on its own. Just give it that nice wintry kind of a feel. Warm, wintry feel. Okay, now I'll leave that. That's pretty much what I want to achieve. And I'm still going to use the same brush, believe it or not, because it's quite nice. It takes you a while to find kind of right brush that you want to use. I tried 3 or 4 different brushes, and more than likely one of them will be the right one just for the effect that I want. So I'll stick with this. This is a nice brush for now. I could also quite easily use my large stubby, but I think the slightly smaller one will give you more diversity, more shape. Now I need some crimson. because my palette is empty of crimson. And I also need some cobalt blue. Let's try a bit of that. And a little more there. A little phaylo blue as well. Where is phaylo? There it is. I love this colour, phaylo blue. It's rich but it's lovely. It does what you want it to do. Okay. So I've let that kind of just sit on the canvas for a while. It's nice to just let it sit just for a moment, leave it kind of take hold. And what I'm going to do now is mix a nice bright colour for the brights. So the same colour we mixed earlier. Let's take a bit of crimson. We come down here, look, to a clean section, and some Naples yellow. We could try. Will we try a touch of cad yellow as well? What the heck? Come on, let's just try it and see what happens. So it is only paint. What can go wrong? Now let's try a little cad yellow and a little crimson again. Tiny bit with just a corner of your brush, you see. I'm just adjusting it by tiny little bits. That's a nice kind of a warm colour there, isn't it? I think a bit more pink. I don't want too much yellow in this because with the blue you might end up with some green. So I'll stay on the side of caution and I'll keep it more to the pink side, alright? Just slightly. Now, let's try it, will we? So the light is on the right hand side. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, go. And I'm just kind of dabbing backwards and forwards, like so. And then let it kind of soften off into the dark, you see? Very gently dab it and leave it disappear back into the dark. Now, and that's 1 tree done. Just like that. It's as simple as that, everyone. Just try it. Don't be shy. Let's go again. Let's go up here. And I'm kind of using the corner of the brush, you see? So that's giving me this kind of slight little curve on the tree. Which is what I want. A little curve. Now, I'll go into the dark and do one in the dark. Because light against dark really shows, doesn't it? Now, understand what I'm saying? Let's just go into that a little bit more. So now we have warms and cools helping each other on the canvas, don't we? Let's take a little touch of crimson again, some white. I might even try a little touch of cobalt blue and get a kind of a nice lilac-y type of a shade. Let's try that, look. Yeah, it's not bad, is it? Try a bit more blue. Okay, let's go up here and try this. And remember, I will go over this with some brighter highlights later on as well. So this is only like the first step, really. I'm just kind of creating the form of the trees with this brush, and I'll then add some highlights later on. Now, because it's getting slightly cooler, let's go to a slightly more cooler shade. So a bit more cobalt blue with just white, yes? And let's go down here. In fact, you know what I will do now? Do you know what I'll do? I'll switch to my large stubby, yes? Let's try it and show you how easy it is really to do. Let's take a bit of phaylo, some white, and a touch of pink. Now, let's see now how this works with the large one, yeah? See? Not bad, is it? Now let's go again. Let's try some cobalt blue this time. Little crimson. Ah, that's not bad no at all. That's a nice colour. I like that colour. It's quite nice. A bit more phaylo, a bit more pink, and let's go in here to the shaded area, give it a nice purple. Now I'm going to dab over everything first like this, okay? See what I'm doing? And let me just stand back for a moment, take a look at that. Then, my next job is I am going to get some nice thick white, perhaps even a touch of phaylo blue, but lots of white in this. And I want to get some really light bright snow on this, okay? Just here and there. So let's try, well, it could go even brighter than that, I'd say. Now, just keep adding little lights here and there. You could use a fan brush as well. That's another nice way of creating some foliage. Or a palette knife even, that's nice as well. I'm just going to soften some of these in because they're a little on the hard side for me. Just a little. Now I'm going to start putting in some tree branches, that kind of thing, okay? Just to give a nice little impression of some branches popping through here and there. So let's take some, let's go with some burnt umber, I think, and perhaps a touch of black. And let's just pop in one or two little branches, and you'll see they will immediately start mixing with the colour on the canvas. So just kind of go along once or twice and then reload. Let's put one or two here. It's just a suggestion, it's kind of hit and miss, isn't it? Hit and miss the canvas, or the trees. Understand? And then let's take a little bit of that brighty colour, some of the light pink perhaps, and let's just add a touch of light here and there to some of those. So the light will be coming along and catching some of these. Alright, just like that. Well, let's just soften some of these in here. Let's not let them show too much. It's just an impression, that's all I want to try and create, a little impression. And of course you can kind of let all of this dry and put on these little branches afterwards if you like. But I'm a very impatient person, I like to get things done. Do you know what I mean? Now that's probably my downfall. I think I have no patience. If you have patience, you could let some of this dry and put in some trees and all sorts of things in here, should you wish. Okay, let me just stop for a moment now and let it like that. Okay, that's quite nice, I'm happy enough with that. And now if you wanted to, right, you could just use a palette knife and add some snow to your trees with the palette knife as well. So let's take a look now. Okay, let's just have a bit of fun with this, yes? let's take some white, a touch of pink, now I've no idea what's going to happen here. Let's just give it a shot and see. Okay, let's just load up our brush or our palette knife, and let's just suggest some snow, bits of foliage on the trees here and there. Now I'm giving it kind of a slight sort of a flick, I suppose, a slight kind of a flick out. I think that just gives some nice movement to the trees. Yeah, it's not bad, is it? It's not bad at all. So look, come on, let's just have a bit of fun. There. Now, that will do fine. How's that looking? That's quite nice now, isn't it? Okay, let's move on to this guy right here. And this lovely roof that we have. I'm going to take my medium stubby brush for this. And what I'll do is paint this nice and dark first to begin with, okay? So let's get some phthalo blue and some black and perhaps a touch of white in that, and also a touch of red. So again, you see, going back to these kind of dark colours. Let me just get this in first nice and dark, okay? Just like that. And go along the edge nice and carefully there. And let's go right up there to the top. A bit of an angle. That angle will give us the perspective that we want, you see? So it tells us that it's kind of turned to the side. Do you understand? And then the bottom line won't be as steep. And let me see now, okay, that's not bad. And I will add a little snow to this as well. I might add a little bit of snow to it actually. Now I just want to put a phthalo blue, a little bit of phthalo blue and cobalt just here and there on that, perhaps even with a little white. Okay, now, so that's the end of that. Right, palette knife, and I'm going to just put a little bit of snow down on the roof, okay? I'll take a little touch of the phthalo with some white. And let me just drag with the edge of the knife. You see I have a little roll of paint on the edge of the knife. Just drag a little bit of that down, just to suggest a kind of a frosty, snowy roof. Now, I might come back to it and kind of maybe fiddle with this again later on. Let me take a look at that now. No, I don't know. It's not working for me, to be quite honest. It's just not doing it for me. So I'm going to pick up my dark colour again and go back over that. I was thinking it might look a bit nice with a bit of snow on that, but look, we can come back to it. We'll come back to it again. We've just got a nice dark colour over this first. Okay, now let me take some black and some red and go over here with some nice dark. Okay, let's just leave it at that for now, yes? Now what I'm going to do is change my tissue, just get myself a nice clean bit of tissue. And I might change my turpentine as well, because look, it's really black, really dirty. Let me just change that and get some fresh turpentine with a little drop of linseed oil in it already. And we take some of this, and we now have some nice warm colours on the side of this building here. So let's get on and do that. Some of the pink, Naples yellow and some white, and might take a touch of blue into that as well, because, well, I mean, it's actually a kind of a grey colour, but because it's a snow scene, I want to make it slightly on the warm side. That sun could be coming across and hitting this wall, couldn't it? Let's imagine it is. Okay. In real life it's just a kind of a grey, but let's make it nice and bright. Why not? Sure, look. It's our painting, we can do what we like. And let's go over here and come straight down like that. Now, there we go. So we've that nice colour there. I might take a little bit of brown and perhaps add a touch of brown here and there, that side, and even a hint of purple as it comes across, okay? And that's giving a nice impression then of it getting lighter as it goes forward, understand? It gives it a kind of a more natural sort of a light. See what I mean? Just kind of, it almost kind of just brings it to life or something. Yeah, that's nice. And we go over a slightly darker colour for that side. So let's take some crimson, some brown, and a touch of that blue. Let's get some of that blue in there. So a slightly darker shade for this. And don't worry about the details now, we can worry about the details later. I'm just focusing on getting everything filled in. Getting the basic shape done and all that kind of thing. So, let's come down this side and down here. It's okay to pick up some of the darker colour as well, that'll help. And what I want to do next is create that little bit of glow in that dark side as well. So I'm going to take some phthalo blue with a little white and perhaps a touch of the crimson again, and just create that little kind of glow. You know, that's kind of a cool glow that we had in this side. That nice kind of a warm glow in there. It adds something to the painting. I don't know what it is, it's lovely. So, small brush, just kind of going along, pulling it all together. Now, there we are. How's that? That's not bad enough, is it? I might add a touch of light even as well. I'm thinking I might need a touch of light here and there, so I'll go up here and put a touch of lighter colour. And with my small stubby brush now, look, I'm just going in little dabs to create some of the brick effect on the wall, see? And again, that adds to the feeling. Nice and simple, dab, 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 dab. It's a nice easy way of creating a kind of a brickish effect on a building. Now I want to add some of that lighter colour to this side as well. Well, not lighter colour necessarily, but a little bit of that mauve colour, just to tie it together a little bit. And I'll go along with little dabs again, look. Dab, 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 dab. Okay. Now, sit back again and let's take a look. I quite like that, that's nice. So, I'm going to start putting in the windows and the doors, that kind of thing. Now, we have a very... I know from painting this so many times that there's a white PVC kind of aphasia on the side. So I'll make a nice whitey kind of a blue there. Because it's on the shadow side, so it'll have some blue in it. And let's come down here and put a nice fascia. Like that. And one on the other side. Like so. And we'll also have kind of columns along the front. Let me just show you there now for a moment. Let me get some bright paint. Bright pink paint. With some of these little columns that decorate the church on this side here. And we also have a white soffit across here. And not to forget, we have 2 crosses up on the peaks of the roof. So let's put one cross here and another cross at the end. Alright, see, coming out nicely now, isn't it? And like, these are just little details now that I like to add. Just to add a little bit of life to a painting, you see? Just a little detail. And we have a little window type thing in there. And we could add a little touch of light to that as well. Just to give it a little bit of a reveal there, you see? There we go. I know a lot of this from memory, because as I said, I've painted this a lot of times. So I really know what the building looks like. Does that make sense? So we're almost finished part 1 of this. I'll move on to part 2 very, very shortly. Let me just get these windows and things in here. We have a couple of windows around there, don't we? I must get those in. So a nice warm kind of a colour, a browny. Let's add a touch of pink to that. A browny kind of a pinky colour. So we have 3 square windows here. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay. And we have a kind of a round one just at the end. It has a kind of a curve on top. It's almost like a false door that was covered up in the past. Do you understand? So let me just get that in there now. There, and then I'll add a tiny little reveal inside in that, just on one side where it turns. And I'll do the same with the windows, okay? A little reveal there, little bit there. So you can see now how I'm keeping all of this nice and simple. It doesn't have to be complicated at all. There are easy ways of doing things. And I lose that dark colour and gives these a little bit of shadow just behind each one. And again, it just adds a little bit of life to them. That's all it is. It's just about adding a little bit of life. And I'm going to add a little light to this little kind of a brick effect in here. Okay. There. Again, I'll sit back, take a little look at that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Now, we have a door, and a nice brown door it is. It's a very rich brown door. So let's pop that in. I might even take a touch of sienna, because I know it's like, it's a very orangey brown kind of a door. Anybody who has been to Gugambara or who has seen Gugambara will know that the doors are very kind of a rich oaky kind of a door. So I'll just put that nice colour in like that, I might maybe add a touch of black to one side, like so. And then we have, after that, a nice bright surround around that. And I'll take a slightly larger round brush, I think. Okay, there's one. And I'll make it a nice, again, a nice bluey colour. Because seeing that they're pure white, when they're in the shadow, they're going to have a little bit of blue, maybe even a bit of pink. They're going to have this kind of a bluey, shadowy colour because they're in the shadows, you see. Now let's fill that in all the way around. Like so. And then let's go up a bit higher here. And come around like that. And then we can start adding little details and highlights and all that kind of thing to this. So we have, first we have a little, I suppose it's just about straightening the lines and that kind of thing. Giving it more, just defining it more, you know, that's all. Let's add a touch of that colour to some of the handles on the door and brackets and all that kind of thing. And let's take some nice bright colour then. And just define, just kind of bring it out. I just want to bring it out, that's all. Do you understand? I just want to make it pop. Just that little bit. Okay. Now, how's that? Let's add a little bit more shadow, I think, to that. Let's make a nice deep purple. Just on one, just maybe just kind of here and there. No, that's probably a little better, if not a bit too dark. But we can just lighten it with a bit of paint. It's no harm. No harm done. Okay, there we are. No harm done at all. Let's even add a touch of snow to that roof, okay? Perhaps just like this. Take a brush with some bluey whitey colour and go along and add a little dab of snow here and there. And it'll be even falling down the roof, okay? Now, how's that? Isn't that better? So, I think that's probably part one finished. In fact, you know what, look, I might just have time to do the little bush just in front of that building there. I just want to put a little bit of a footpath kind of a colour across here first, okay? Just like that. Now, just to sit that down, you know what I mean? Now I'm just going to put a nice dark colour with my rough brush. Take some phthalo blue, some of the pink. Just check that now. That's a bit blue, isn't it? Let's try a bit of burnt umber with some more pink in that. And then a very dark bush in front of that building. So I'll put in the dark first like this, you see? Like so. Then I clean the brush again. Give it a good clean. And we get some nice bright colour then on that. Let's go here. A little touch of pink. Touch of pink, touch of Naples yellow. Bit more pink, I'd say. And let's see if we can get a nice bright on this. How's that? There. Create a nice little bush just like that. And that is the end of part 1. Don't go anywhere, I'll be right back again with part 2, okay? Thank you so much for watching. I'll just get my stuff cleaned up here and we'll start with this, finish this lovely reflections, some trees, some snow, and we'll go from there, okay? So don't go anywhere, thank you very much.